Hey Spooky, listen, I know you're just kind of chilling right now, but, we need to talk about your involvement in the show, and, yeah, well, you know what, yeah, I'll check with you later. Sorry. Hello everybody and welcome back to Orthodox Review, the most uneducated educational program on the internet today. This is episode 52, where we'll be discussing the Lestovka, the ladder, staple of old ritualist Russia. This is a very interesting prayer tool, and although there is some shrouded mystery to its origin, it is deeply steeped in symbolism. Before we get into the video, I'd just like to thank my patrons for all the support you've given me. You're helping to keep this show going, and I cannot stress enough just how grateful I am. Also, to all the publishers and authors who have been helping out the show, I'm truly humbled, and I don't know how to thank you enough. We do have a Patreon and also a PayPal tip jar if you're looking to help out the show. But mostly, just thank you for being here and keeping up. And I'm hoping that I continue to be of some help to someone out there. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into this. Now, in a previous video on Tools on Prayer, I explained that my Lestovka was modified. There should be two triangular flaps here called leaves that were cut off because some other monk did it, and I wanted to be like them, so I did it, and it was, boy, I shouldn't have done that. So I ordered a new one from St. Elizabeth Convent in Minsk, but that won't be here for a little while, so we're just going to go ahead and use this one. Now, the Lestovka, unlike a prayer rope, has more than 100 knots, or in this case, we call them steps. And we'll get into the symbolism behind all those in a second. It's worth noting that the Lestovka is typically constructed from a single strip of leather that is interwoven and folded over itself. And these traditionally are either twigs, bits of rod, or even rolled up scrolls with the Jesus prayer on them. Here, they're just bits of rod. So you'll notice that there is a little symmetry here. On each side you have these three steps. So each one representing the Trinity. Now you have three additional large steps throughout the ladder. So here's 1, 2, and 3. So altogether you have 9 of these large steps, and those represent the 9 ranks of angels. So coming back to the beginning again, we have a space on either side, and this represents the space between heaven and earth. Then moving forward from one end, before the first large one, you have 12 steps. Now, these 12 represent the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ. After that, we have a section of 38 steps. These 38 steps represent the 38 weeks that the Theotokos carried Christ in the womb. Then we have our second. Next, we have a section of 33 steps. And of course, that represents the 33 years of Jesus Christ's life on earth. And then in the last section, we have 17 steps. And these steps represent the 17 prophets. And that does include St. John the Baptist as the last and greatest prophet. Now, usually, on the end, like I said, you'll have the 4 leaves Lopotski, and that would be triangle, 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 triangle. And so that would represent the four Gospels and four evangelists. Now, traditionally, between those were seven movable pieces that would represent the seven great mysteries of the church. Now, outside of that, if you're just praying the Jesus prayer, the small steps, there are only 100 small steps. And so you would pray the prayer just like so. Now, according to the old ritualist tradition in the Russian church, there's actually a table in the Albright prayer book that will explain to you that, let's say you miss a service like Vespers. So it says, okay, if you miss Vespers, pray this many Lestovkas instead. So it's really just a method of using the Jesus prayer to replace services that you miss. But it's just an interesting bit of Orthodox history. This is not something you usually wear as an accessory. It's you don't wrap it around your wrist. You don't hang it over your neck. It's just something that you use in private devotion. Now, I know from talking to my buddy Steven that a lot of people will wear them hanging from their arm during services. I have not yet had the good pleasure of visiting an old ritualist church, which the most famous being in Erie, Pennsylvania, which my buddy Steven attends. And also that's the church that produces all the English translations, and they sell Lestovkas. But anyway, so this is a brief explanation of the Lestovka. There's going to be a second part to this because I am doing some research with my friend Steven. Thank God for him, because he has access to some old literature and paperwork through the church archives, and so he is going to help me unravel the history of this. But by special request, it was brought to my attention that people really wanted to know a little bit more about the Lestovka. I would recommend that you do a little research online yourself. There's a couple of great resources out there, but for the most part, it's just a beautiful and richly thought out way of reciting the Jesus prayer and adding a little more depth to the experience. Well, with that being said, I bid you adieu. Hope you're all enjoying your quarantine. Christ is risen, brothers and sisters, and we'll keep on plugging through. You're in my prayers, and let's just keep doing this. All right. Any final words from the peanut gallery? Nope. Well, that being the case, don't forget to go to church, say your prayers, and remember God. I love you all. God bless.